Hey guys, welcome to Gaea Yoga. I'm TJ and this is our very first yoga video. I'm super excited to start doing these with you guys, so definitely be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check back every week for a new sequence posted every Monday. So for this week, I thought we would just kind of ease into it and do some calm yoga, some yoga that will help you de-stress after a long day of work, or maybe you wake up in the morning and you just need something to ease into the day. This short sequence would be perfect for that. So grab your mat, grab some water, and let's get started. So let's start off by laying down on our backs. Go ahead and take your eyes to a close. And bring your attention to where all the points of your body touch your mat, where they connect with the ground. Go ahead and bring your right hand to your navel, left hand to your heart. As you inhale, you should feel your belly rise. And as you exhale, you should feel it drop back down towards your spine. Pay attention to how you're feeling, any signals your body's trying to tell you. Inhaling, take your arms up over your head. Then walk your fingers and toes over to the right corner of your mat. So you make like a crescent shape with your body. And then walk them over to the left corners of your mat, taking the crescent shape stretch over to the other side. Go ahead and come back to a neutral position. Plant the soles of your feet by your sit bones, knees up towards the sky, and start to windshield wiper them from side to side, taking soft spinal twists. Come back to neutral. Hug your knees into your chest, maybe rocking side to side a little bit. Release the spine. And then we'll rock up and down along the spine about 3 times till we meet in tabletop position on our hands and knees. Once you get to tabletop, go ahead and move through some cat-cows. Make sure you're breathing through these movements and try and pay extra attention to your body and what it might need. Come back to a neutral spine. Extend your right leg directly out behind you. And then we'll peel it open to the side, sitting down into a gated child's pose. You should feel a nice stretch through your inner leg here. Rise back up and re-extend that right leg straight out behind you just for a breath before we take it to the opposite side of our left leg, pushing your hips towards the right corner of your mat. Come back to that tabletop position and move through a couple more rounds of cat-cow. Maybe exaggerating your cat-cows more than you did before. Putting more hip movement into it. Come back to that neutral spine and extend your left leg directly out behind you just for a breath. Before we take it over to the side, sitting back down into that gated child's pose position. Go ahead and rise back up and re-extend that left leg behind you for a moment before taking it over to the opposite side of our right leg. Pushing your hips towards the left corner of the mat, feeling this stretch through the outside of your left leg. Coming back to tabletop, we're just going to drop our chest down towards our mat, keeping our hips up towards the sky for puppy pose. Feel free to be down on your forehead for this if you need to be, or up on your chin. Slide your chest all the way down onto your mat, straightening your legs out, and move through some neck rolls. You'll start going one direction a couple of times. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and switch directions and go the other way. Coming back to neutral, take your left arm parallel to the top of your mat, right hand back, grabbing those right toes and pulling that foot into your sit bones. And then we'll switch, taking our right arm parallel to the top of our mat, left hand back, grab those left toes, and hug that left foot into your sit bones. Release the toes. Plant your forearms on your mat, tuck your toes, and lift up into a low plank. We're going to hold this for a few breaths, so if you need to rock forward and backward on your toes to help you, feel free to do that. And then you'll plant your palms and rise up into a high plank. Once again, feel free to rock forward and backward on your toes. Take your hips towards the back of your mat, moving into downward dog. Spend a moment here just stretching out the backs of the legs and the shoulders. And you'll take your right hand to your left leg, taking a spinal twist underneath that left arm. Come back to downward dog and take your left hand to your right leg. Come back to downward dog. Extend your right leg up towards the sky before planting the sole of your right foot on the outside of your hands. Be sure to stay up on those left toes, maybe rocking forward and backward as we prepare to lower down into lizard pose. Go ahead and rise back up. Tuck those left toes, lift that left knee up off of your mat, and take your right hand up towards the sky for a closed spinal twist. Replant that right hand, drop that left knee back on the ground, and straighten out that right leg, half splits. Come out of the half splits, coming back to that low lunge, and heel toe your foot over to the left side of your mat, Preparing for pigeon pose. In this pose, you want to make sure that you're not hurting your knee. So if it hurts to lay all the way down onto your mat, stay up on your forearms or maybe grab a block. Relax and breathe into this stretch. Bring your attention back to your body, to your breath, and any signals it might be giving you. Go ahead and rise back up. Plant the palms of your hands on your mat. Tuck those left toes, lift that left knee up off your mat, and shoot that right foot back, coming to that high plank pose. Come back to downward dog before extending your left leg up towards the sky. Bring that left foot to the outside of your hands, making sure to stay up on those right toes and rocking back and forth a couple of times before we lower down into lizard. Once again, if you need to stay up on your hands or maybe grab a block, feel free to do that. Rising up out of lizard, replant those hands on your mat, tuck the right toes, and lift that right knee up off of your mat, taking your left hand up towards the sky for that closed twist. Coming out of the twist, replant that left hand down on your mat, shooting your weight towards the back of your mat, half split. Come back to that low lunge and heel toe your left foot over to the right side of your mat, preparing to lower down into pigeon pose once again. If you need to use a block or stay on your hands so you don't hurt your knee, feel free to do that. Rising up out of pigeon, replant your hands on your mat, tuck your right toes, lift that right knee up, and shoot that left leg back, finding that plank position once again. Push your hips towards the back of your mat, downward dog. Spend a couple of breaths here in downward dog before we sit back down onto our mat. Bring the soles of your feet together and keeping your spine straight, forward fold for butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. Rise up out of butterfly pose. Plant the soles of your feet next to your sit bones and lay down on your mat. Once again, we'll windshield wiper our knees from side to side, taking those soft spinal twists. Feel free to take your eyes to a close. Using both hands, grab the outside of both of your feet, taking the soles of your feet up towards the sky for happy baby pose. Feel free to rock side to side along your spine. And then when you're ready, we'll lower down into Shavasana. Palms up towards the sky, eyes to a close, almost like you just fainted on your mat. Bring your attention back to all of the points where your body meets your mat, and let yourself sink into the ground. Lose all control of your thoughts. Bring your attention back to your breath, placing your right hand on your navel, left hand on your heart. Inhaling, you should feel your belly rise. Exhaling, you'll feel it drop back down towards your spine. I hope you guys enjoyed this sequence, and hopefully you feel a little calmer than you did at the beginning of this video.